Okay, alright, look, I've had a really rough past week, alright? Monday, I started working a full-time summer job, and just yesterday, I had to get my wisdom teeth removed, so that means they put me on anesthesia, and all I'm gonna say is that stuff went down, okay? So this all starts bright and early, at 6:30 in the morning. Okay, I wake up, getting ready to go to my appointment, which is at 8, and coincidentally, my brother was also going to get his wisdom teeth removed at the exact same time as me. So it kind of like, worked out or whatever. And then they take me to the room, the back room, the surgery room, whatever it is. They put all these crazy devices all over my body, and then they give me a real nice ouchie on my arm with the IV thing. And before I know it, it's time to like start this whole surgery procedure. And after they hook me up to this thing, I'm like looking around the room thinking like, okay, great. So when does this stuff kick in? Something happened, and before I knew it, I was just out cold like a freaking rack. It was wild. And the craziest thing is I don't even remember losing consciousness at all. 1 minute I'm in the operating room and they hook me up to the IV thing, and then fast forward like freaking 30 seconds, and then I find myself sitting in a chair right across from my dad, as if the surgery had never even happened. I vaguely remember people carrying me out there, but like not really. It's kind of like a bar, okay? But here's the thing, all right? Here's the meat of the situation, okay? This conundrum, if you will. By this point, I'm high out of my mind on anesthesia, okay? And let me tell you something, all right? Anesthesia? This is the first time I've ever been put on this stuff, but I'll tell you right now, this stuff is wild, okay? It is not what I was expecting in the slightest. Now look, for the longest time, I've been very, very scared about getting my wisdom teeth removed because of anesthesia. You see all these videos online of people saying stupid things, and I was thinking, oh man, like I'm probably gonna like spill like my deepest darkest secrets, my deepest, darkest desires, and all this crazy stuff. It's crazy, okay, because, I worry so much about it, and then all the while, people always tell me, hey, don't worry about it, don't worry about it. You'll see a bunch of freaking stupid stuff, and you probably won't even remember it, You're probably gonna, sing some stupid song, or talk about how, like, one of your favorite celebrities is, like, controlling the world or something. I don't really know. When my sister went to get her wisdom teeth removed, the only thing that she did was sing Cotton Eye Joe for some freaking reason. No idea what was up with her, but whatever. Okay? The fact of the matter is, though, when they tell you not to worry about it because you, quote-unquote, most likely won't even remember, it's a lie. All of it is a freaking lie. At least it was for me, okay? Because the entire time I was high on this stuff, I was fully aware of everything. I had inhibition. I could make decisions. I could do things. It just felt like I was like super high or drunk or something like that. And what did that mean for me? It basically just meant that I didn't care about the implications or consequences of anything that I said. And every single time I thought of something, it would just come right out of my mouth. And it was 100% coherent. Basically, this entire situation was completely wild, and I said a lot of things that I definitely shouldn't have said, and I regret everything. I regret getting my wisdom teeth pulled. It's freaking awful. I mean, dude, right now, my teeth, like, my gums don't even hurt. My gums don't hurt at all. But still, the pain that I'm enduring just from this experience is enough to make me want to freaking shoot myself. So yeah, here I am sitting in this chair across from my dad. My dad asks me how I'm holding up. How did the surgery go? And I'm like, it was nothing. I'm just gangsta like that. And that was the first and the last sentence that I said that was in English. Because for some reason after that, my dad said something else to me, and it just like flicked a switch in my brain. And then I could only speak Spanish from that point forward, which was very interesting. I tried to speak English multiple times. There were the doctors, they tried to say things to me, they tried to ask me how I was doing, but I could only speak Spanish. I don't know why. I only spoke Spanish for the next like 3 hours or something until like the anesthesia wore off, and I couldn't control it. But yeah, basically though, they lift me up out of my chair, they bring me outside, and they put me in the passenger seat in my dad's car, and dude, oh my gosh, dude, the car ride home, I just could not shut up, man. I was saying so much stuff. It was wild. Lots of this stuff I'm probably not going to mention in this video because it's a lot to take in at once, okay? So I'm just going to go over the highlights, all right? Let's start there. We're going to start small. So on top of, like, the normal stuff, like, rapping and singing in Spanish for some reason, I also, like, kept on saying that, like, everything was gay. I kept on calling everything gay, or saying, roughly translated, that it was for sissies over and over and over again. And I kept on saying this so freaking much that my dad eventually just, like, asks me, okay, do you like guys? Like, he just asks me, like, straight up, of course, in Spanish. So, like, no one can understand me in the car other than my dad. He's the only person in my family who speaks Spanish. And he asks me, like, do you like guys? And then me, I just say, like, not a whole lot. But I'll tell you what, though, okay? And then I go on to talk about how I don't like girls at all, which I guess is partially a lie, because I do kind of like them in a sense, maybe to a degree. I mean, girls are pretty, right? So, like, why not? But then, I start talking about how, like, I think that vaginas are, like, so freaking disgusting, and how I would never want to be in, like, a 1 mile radius from one, and this and that, and yada yada yada. I don't even remember how long I was talking about that for, but I remember thinking, like, that I really wanted to talk about it for some reason. Like, I don't know why, it just slipped out though. And that wasn't me coming out, by the way. Before you jump to conclusions, this keeps going, okay? This keeps going. So, another little thing happened where I spilled another random secret that I really didn't want to reveal, and it drives me up a freaking wall, and it makes me, it drives me mad, dude. Oh, I freaking can't stand it. I can't stand it. It's so freaking dumb. So, my dad asked me, really simple question, how was your week? How was your week at work? Probably thinking it's going to get some stupid response from me. I mean, and he did get a stupid response. And I freaking tell him that I have a YouTube channel with 10,000 subscribers and that I'm getting paid for it. And that I got an email just the day prior telling me that I was going to start getting paid for it. And that is not what I wanted to do. Okay, listen, I didn't tell him the name of the channel, and I didn't tell him the videos that I made. But I'll tell you what though, I was thinking in my head that I was getting ready to tell him literally all the ins and outs of this freaking channel. I was going to tell him every last little bit and detail, dude. And it was going to be horrible, but somebody cut me off, okay? Luckily, thank the freaking heavens that happened, because I was going to go on such a freaking rant. And look, if you were to just click on my channel, you would immediately understand why I do not want this to get out, why I do not want people to know that they make these videos, okay? Obvious reasons. Alright, and this is not how I wanted it to go down. I didn't even want anyone to know that I had a YouTube channel for at least another few months. But whatever though, let's get back on track, okay? I say all these, I say that stupid thing. I say that I don't really like guys that much, like girls, I just can't stand them. Oh, but it doesn't stop there. Let's just say me being the little young Sheldon that I was, I had other plans. I wanted to keep this conversation going a little bit, okay? So once we get home, I still can't speak English, okay? So I have the genius idea. I say, give me a notebook and a pencil. I wanted to see if I could maybe write in English. And that's what I could do. That's what I did. I get my notebook and I get my pencil and I'm thinking, okay, what do I want to say? I didn't even know what to write as soon as I got it. My brain was in freaking la la land. I didn't know what the heck I wanted to say. And eventually I just come up with the genius idea. Okay, I'm going to write down just, do you have any weekend plans? And I handed over to my brother, which, as you may have gathered, was also freaking high out of his mind on some other planet, probably freaking Jupiter or something. And he reads this, and he told me that he was going to play a game called No Man's Sky. I don't really know anything about the game, okay? I'm going to be honest. I think it's cool or whatever to, travel around in space, yada, 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 etc. But for some reason, I have the weirdest response. And I write down on my notebook, and I say, that game's for chicks. And I give it back to him. He reads it, got a pretty good laugh out of it. And, all is well, right? I mean, this is an everyday conversation that I have with my brother. Really nothing that out of the ordinary, aside from the fact that I'm using a freaking notebook in order to translate my thoughts in a way that he could understand them. Whatever. But, oh, folks, no, man. I had just one more little trick up my sleeve. Oh, yes, I did indeed. I thought to myself, I got a little something special, a little bit of a special delivery for my sister. And I figured, her being a lesbian and all, she'd probably find it funny. And I thought, oh, she probably wouldn't be mad if I wrote this, So I get my expert author abilities to work and I write down, I hate homos, but I low-key like guys. Oh man, what was I thinking? And I get up and I hand it to my sister. And she laughs at it. And she doesn't read it out loud either. Luckily, she wasn't also high. So that was good, okay? But then, my brother, he wants to see it too. He wants in on that action. He doesn't know what's on this thing. So I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna hand it to him too. Not thinking at all. Again, I'm on a completely different freaking planet. So I hand him the freaking notebook, and with my mom right next to him, he just reads it out loud for some reason. I don't know why I gave it to him in the first place. No idea. It was just like I thought and I did it. I don't know. So he reads it out loud. My mom laughs a little bit, and she kind of just like lets out like a sigh and kind of like rolls her eyes a little bit. Like she's just like, like what? Like this freaking kid. I raised this dude, and look at how he turned out. To be honest, I don't really think that she cared that much, but like, whatever. Okay, it's fine. It's okay. But then my sister, she's sitting next to me, and then she asks me like, do you really like guys? And then me, I'm still trying to talk to her in Spanish or whatever for some reason, and I'm not really getting my thoughts out the way that I should. So like I kind of just like write down a check mark next to the thing that I wrote saying that, yeah, I do dabble a little bit with the old males. And then, I also like say a little bit like in Spanish, I say like, yeah, it's the truth. 100% factual. I then went on to say like, oh, I love guys, but not like that. I was really trying to preface the fact that I didn't like them like that per se, in the same way that I said I didn't really like girls. It's whatever. So, and that's truth, I do kind of like them, but, I could never really see myself actually wanting to engage in those extracurricular activities with them. Yeah, I have more videos talking about that if you want to learn a little bit more about my freaking weird, messed up sexuality or whatever. But jeez, crap, man. Like, oh, dude, I hate the fact that I said all that, okay? I didn't want them to know that I had a YouTube channel. I didn't want them to know that I liked guys. And now I don't know what I'm going to do. There was even more that I told them, and I don't even want to mention in this video because it just keeps getting deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. It's like, oh. Okay, deep breath in. Deep breath out. Good puppy. Okay, dude, this was a horrible experience, and it was just yesterday. I'm still trying to process everything, and it's just, I don't know. No one has said anything about any of the stuff that they said since yesterday, and I don't know if they're still thinking about it, or if they're judging me. I don't know. Okay, look, listen, okay, alright. I gotta remain calm, okay? Moral of the story, listen, I gotta tell you, anesthesia has all sorts of different effects on all sorts of different people. Me personally, I was super duper paranoid about it, and I definitely think that had an effect on how that made me act out. So I'm telling you, if you get paranoid about, unleashing your deepest, darkest secrets, okay, while under the effects of anesthesia, I just gotta tell you, okay, take a deep breath, please be dead set on just not talking at all, okay? Because here's the thing, you do kind of have a little bit of control over what you say, but like not really. So just think of your happy place, okay? Just think of, long walk on the beach, this or that, I don't know, dude, but just don't get it out. Please, just if you have something you don't want to, like, reveal, just don't talk. Don't talk. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. Don't say it. But whatever, okay? That's my story. Thank you very much for tuning in. I gotta tell you, by the way, I got a Discord server. If you want to stop by, just say hi or whatever. It's gonna be a blast. Also, I got fan art, even more fan art. This is gonna have to be a thing that I just do on every single video where I show off all my fan art. Dude, this stuff is freaking awesome, bro. I love it. It's so freaking amazing. It's so charming, and it makes me feel like I'm actually like doing something. I'm actually doing something, man. It's like, it's amazing. And also, I'm now at 10,000 subscribers. I mentioned that earlier in the video. Dude, what the heck is up with that? I never expected for this to happen. Anyways, though, I don't really got anything else to say. Thank you very much for tuning in and listening to this very, very embarrassing story of mine. And without further ado, I'm going to have to catch y'all later. So, yeah. Bye!